Guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, I'm going to go over an article titled Man Sues Ex-Girlfriend for Sabotaging Music Career So He Wouldn't Move Away. And in this story I'm going to go over, guys, this is a situation where a young guy in college, he's obviously a very good musician in what he does, playing the clarinet. And he gets accepted to this great university in Los Angeles to be taught by this very sought-after teacher, get a full ride, and also a really well-paying job until graduation. Great deal. And as it turns out, his girlfriend of the time, who's also a music student, she screws the whole thing up. She sabotages the whole thing. He gets an acceptance letter welcoming into this very rare and prestigious program, and she not only deletes it, but she then creates a rejection letter. And so all these years, he believes he was rejected, and the girl did it to keep him in her life. I mean, that's crazy. And guys, we all know that women can be crazy, okay? And some can take that craziness to a whole new level. And I've learned a lot of things in my life. And one definite thing I've learned is never underestimate how far some women will go to get what they want. I mean, it's some pretty disgusting and deplorable things that some of them will do. And I'm sure some of you guys have experienced that. So from this story I'm going to read to you, for you young guys especially, I want you to understand, when you are young in college, high school, college, early 20s, and you are working hard for whatever goals you may have with regards to your career or starting a business or the direction you want to take your life, be aware that you get yourself a serious girlfriend and she could derail the whole thing. Now, I'm not saying she's going to do this, but what I am saying is your feelings for her could sway your decisions as to how far you may go. How that may limit your ambitions. Now, a good girlfriend or wife, she's going to support your goals. She's going to push you to do better for yourself. Okay? That's what supposed love is. Now, you all know my opinion on love and a woman's love, but again, we all know it's conditional based on your resources and what you can provide, and you being perceived as high status and an alpha. But regardless, a woman that cares about you, she's normally going to support you, okay? Because also, and let's be real, your success reflects on her, okay? That makes her look good with her coworkers, her friends, and family. If her boyfriend, her man, has a great position in a company or is doing very well and making a lot of money, that reflects on her. So she's of course going to support that. And all the benefits of the money that comes with that, that's going to benefit her as well. So we'll be honest here, okay? Right? So when you have a situation like this, when the girl sabotages it, that goes to say that shows you what her character is, her personality is. So I'm going to go in this article here, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. So again, title of the article is Man Sues Ex-Girlfriend for Sabotaging Music Career So He Wouldn't Move Away. Starts saying, a Canadian court awarded Eric Abramovitz a judgment worth $260,000 US. And article goes into saying, people in love do strange things, but sabotaging their partner's career is not typically one of them. That's not love. No fucking way that's love, okay? If you really care about somebody, you want them to do well, not sabotage it for your own selfish reasons. That's bullshit. A Canadian court has ruled that that's what Jennifer Lee did to her boyfriend by deleting an email he'd received from a prestigious music school and replacing it with a fake rejection note. Whew. Evil. On Wednesday, Ontario Superior Court Judge David Corbett found that Lee deliberately stalled the career of then-boyfriend Eric Abramovitz. I can't pronounce some of these names, guys. In 2014, when the two of them were music students at McGill University in Montreal. Corbett awarded a judgment worth $260,000 US as payback. I think that's great. However, can he really collect? That's what I would like to know. In late 2013, Abramovitz applied to study at the Colburn Conservatory of Music in Los Angeles under Yehuda Gilad. The famed clarinet teacher accepts only 2 new students a year. Each one receives a full scholarship that covers tuition, room and board, and money for other expenses. Perhaps most importantly, the chosen few are virtually guaranteed a high-paying symphony career upon graduation, according to the Montreal Gazette. That is a sweet deal. Get to go to this prestigious university, study under this great teacher that only takes 2 people a year, room and board, tuition's paid for, and guaranteed employment with good pay for a period of time. That's great. And so anybody that fucks that up for their boyfriend or girlfriend or anyone for that matter is just pure evil and a nutcase. But also it says that this girl was a fellow music student and she was probably jealous. Abramovich went through an extensive screening process, including a live audition in February 2014, and felt confident he'd be accepted, according to the Washington Post. But a few weeks later, he received a rejection email. He was crushed and chose to finish his bachelor's degree at McGill. God, that poor guy. Whew. 2 years passed before Abramovich discovered that he actually had been accepted and that Lee, whom he had been dating for 5 months at the time, had forged the rejection note. You can get a good laugh out of me trying to say this word. It's crazy. Abramovich told the court that Lee had access to his email and was able to delete the real acceptance letter before he could see it. He said Lee also impersonated him and sent Gilad an email declining the offer. Man. Now, here's the thing. Why on God's green earth did this guy give access to his email to his girlfriend? He's out of his goddamn mind to do that. Okay, that was a screw up. But obviously that screw up didn't warrant this girl doing this thing. That's terrible. And by the way, he's dating her 5 months and he gave her not only his email but also his password. Crazy. Guys, never do that. Ever, ever, ever. I don't care if your girl says she's going to leave you and hook up with every guy you've ever known and whatever threat she may give you. You never give your woman, or anybody for that matter, access to your accounts. Any accounts. Never, ever, ever. And this girl sent a rejection to the teacher. I mean, you would talk about diabolical here. Her alleged motive: to keep Abramovich from moving away. Bitches be crazy. After earning his degree at McGill, Abramovich was still determined to learn from Gilad. He entered a 2-year certificate program at the University of Southern California, which allowed him much less study time with the master's teacher and didn't come with a full scholarship. Well, I like that this guy, even though what happened, he was determined to make it work, so he did it anyway. So that's good for him for not letting that get in the way. But watch what happens when he finds out what really happened. At a second meeting, Gilad asked Abramovich, "Why did you reject me?" The student replied, "Why did you reject me?" The two musicians couldn't figure out what had happened. Eventually, Abramovich forwarded the fake rejection email to Gilad, who replied, "I've never seen that in my life," according to the National Post. Imagine that. Imagine that conversation. Can you imagine being the fly on the wall, hearing that conversation? He says here, "That's when I knew that something underhanded was afoot," Abramovich told the paper. In 2015, he and a friend tried to gain access to the email account that had sent him the fake rejection letter. Since Abramovich and Lee once shared a computer, he knew one of her passwords. Is this a thing? For you young guys watching this, is this a thing now that you share your passwords with each other? I mean, I don't get it. I sure as hell would never do that, but who knows? It says here, miraculously, it logged right in, he said, and what she'd done became clear. We felt like Sherlock Holmes. At that point, Abramovich told Gilad he also hired an attorney and contacted Lee, whom he was no longer dating. Gee, I wonder why he wasn't dating this chick. Listen to this. At first, she tried to deny it, but the evidence I had was overwhelming. Then she blocked me on social media, and we only spoke to each other through the lawyers. Can you imagine that? I didn't do it. I know what you're talking about. And I'm willing to bet you that once finally, she knew she was backed into a corner, was caught, what do you think she did? I bet you she probably cried. I bet you she cried and gave a sob story saying, but I loved you and I didn't want to lose you, and some bullshit playing the violin sob story. Lee did not respond multiple times to the court action, which is one reason why the judge ruled for Abramovitz. And it's quoted as saying, a defendant who has been noted in default is deemed to admit the truth of all allegations of fact made in the statement of claim, the judge wrote. So she didn't show up. Well, it worked out in his favor. Abramovitz is happy with the verdict, although he told the National Post he doesn't know if he'll be able to collect the damage award from Lee. I would like to know how that works. I mean, obviously she doesn't have the money. Do they put a lien on some of her property? Do they put a lien on whatever money she has? Do they put a lien on paychecks, future income? I have no idea how that works. But I guarantee you, since it's Canada, and I know from what people have told me how Canada's laws really favor women, she could probably get off scot-free. But she's got to have some kind of, have to pay for something for what she did to this guy. Not cool. And I don't care if she was a kid. Bullshit. Meanwhile, he is in a better place in both his career and his personal life. Not only has Abramovitz just got a new position as associate principal and E-flat clarinetist at the Toronto Symphony, but he has a new girlfriend, according to BuzzFeed. He's quoted as saying, "We're really happy. I would like to think that since my first relationship, my judgment of character has improved just a little bit." Well, I wish that guy all the best in his career in the symphony, and certainly with this girlfriend or whoever he dates or gets together afterwards. But I really hope this guy learned a very important but hard lesson about female nature and how some of these women can be absolutely crazy, and never ever let women get involved in the way of your ambitions and goals. If you have a girlfriend, you want her to be supportive and have your back for these things. Again, for you guys that do relationships, you want her to have your back and be cheering you on, not screwing everything up. But this guy, in fairness, he had no idea. I mean, God, talk about diabolical. I mean, it's awful. So again, for you young guys that are watching this, if you're in high school or you're in college, early college, later college, really consider putting on hold getting any kind of serious relationships with any girls. I don't care how hot she is. I don't care what she does to you in the bedroom until later on. Because this way you can focus on your goals and ambitions. Because women, one way or another, if your goals don't match with what she wants, they can definitely railroad it. Okay? It's not worth it. And guys, we're all living longer. And honestly, in your 20s, you're on the lower end of demand with women anyway. So you might as well use that time to focus on your goals, focus on your education, all that stuff. If you want women, you can have them later in life when you obviously make more money and are more desirable to them, okay? I know it's tough. I get it. I was that young once too, but just trust me on this. Benefit from the knowledge of guys like me and plenty of guys that comment on my videos, what they've learned the hard way, and help yourselves out. Seriously. So, all right, guys, that's it for today. Be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know, guys, if you've ever had a situation where you yourselves or anybody you know has had your goals or ambitions sabotaged by a woman that you were involved with. I'd love to hear about that. And also, it will help other guys hearing these stories, especially the younger ones. And be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.